In fact, it's not even a fair comparison. When we say Modi outdoes Manmohan, there's no comparison between the two. Modi has achieved in 7 months what Manmohan Singh couldn't despite his best efforts in 10 years. Even Manish Tewari will acknowledge that. Senior Congress leader, former Union Minister Manish Tewari taking on Nalin-Kohli of the BJP national spokesperson. Naresh Gujral, Member of Parliament, Shiromani Akali Dal. Maruf Raza stays on. Times Now's consulting editor Maruf Raza, senior journalist Kumar Ketkar, and Rakesh Sood, former diplomat. By the way, Rakesh Sood was Manmohan Singh's special envoy for disarmament and non-proliferation in 2013 and has been a former permanent representative to the Conference of Disarmament in Geneva. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, everyone. Let me start with you, Mr. Sood. Why do you... Okay. Mr. Sood, if you can hear me. Okay, I don't think the audio is going through to Mr. Sood, so let's start with some others. Maruf, let's start with you once again. If you compare the last 7 months, what Modi has been able to do, to the 10 years of what Manmohan is trying to do, there are many comparisons, but the most bitter comparison will be the comparison over the nuclear deal, because Manmohan Singh really wanted it to happen.
Yeah, Arnab, see, there are two things that I wish to bring out here. Before we get on to the nuclear deal, from what I've understood, that apparently the Obama regime itself was quite positively inclined towards Dr. Manmohan Singh. In fact, apparently President Obama has been on record to say that Manmohan Singh was his guru. But in the last 3 years, Mr. Manmohan Singh's time, the India file stopped going to White House because they saw no potential of furthering any relationship with India because things were just not moving. And here comes Modi, and Obama just described him as a Bollywood rock star. We saw the performance at Madison Square Garden. We saw the confidence with which he's, got into the waters of foreign policy, which is tricky terrain by all standards. And I think where the credit goes to Mr. Modi, as Foreign Secretary has said, the deal is sealed and done. If that is true, and I would assume it is because the Foreign Secretary wouldn't make an announcement like that, then they have certainly exercised imagination, which was missing in the Manmohan Singh regime. So therefore, I think we are moving forward. It's a strategic partnership. There are symbolisms attached. There has to be give and take. And I think the Modi government has decided, come what may, within the Indian legislation, there will be a certain amount of give from India to take from the US, a long-term partnership, which includes beyond nuclear, civil energy arrangements, a lot of other things that India wants. For example, as your next debate is going to be to put Pakistan in the dock.
Maruf, let's put it to Manish Tewari. And by the way, to everyone else, I'm not going for opening remarks tonight. We're going for an open debate instead. But in order to provoke the debate further, I want to ask Manish Tewari. Manish Tewari, look back. Manmohan Singh's best moment, by his own admission, was striking the nuclear deal with the US. That was 6 years back. Then what did you do? You put it in the freezer. You forgot. You made no effort to push it politically. There was no conviction from your end. There was no contact group for your end. You stumbled from one thing to the other. You were also a minister. And it is only and only Modi who was able to revive it. Where did you go so horribly wrong?
Well, Mr. Goswami, if you've finished, I can only say that you've got it horribly wrong. On the contrary, today would be the happiest moment for former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. It is the vindication of his legacy. The only thing which the NDA government or the current government has been able to find, or the only peg they've been able to find to hang their coat on, is the Indo-US Civil Nuclear Agreement. An agreement on which the accused former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh of selling the sovereignty of India in the bazaars of Washington, D.C. A deal on which they sunk to the lowest nadir of political chicanery.
Are you quoting them or are you quoting them off record? Are these their words? Are these their words? Then stand by them. You're a lawyer. Are these their words or are you imagining the words?
I am not imagining the words, Mr. Goswami. You have been a witness to those times. Wasn't Dr. Manmohan Singh accused of selling the sovereignty of India in the bazaars of Washington, D.C. by the same BJP government which is now trying to go ahead with the Indo-US Civil Nuclear Agreement? Isn't it the same BJP which brought a no-confidence motion against the then UPA government on the Indo-US civil nuclear deal? Isn't it the same BJP which actually tried to subvert the entire Civil Liability Act? So what are we talking about here? And now, when Mr. Obama comes to India for the second time, the only peg that they've been able to find...
That is no answer to why you were not able to push it through.
Is the Indo-US civil nuclear agreement.
1 second. One minute. Was your Prime Minister personally involved? Was anyone discriminating against Manmohan Singh? No, has Modi not pushed it himself? Would you not give him credit? If this deal has been revived, is it not because of the personal involvement of Narendra Modi? Because of the serious debate which followed?
Goswami,
did Manmohan Singh...
Mr. Goswami, let me ask a larger question. Leader after leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party went on record saying that if our government is formed, we will junk the Indo-US civil nuclear agreement, lock, stock and barrel.
But you were against it then,
because it compromises India's sovereignty.
But you were against it then.
Didn't they say that? Wasn't this their rhetoric in the 2009 elections? So what happened? They came to government 5 years later, and the only thing that they've been able to push is the civil nuclear agreement. Allow me to point out
what was the dispute all about. I thought you were genuinely complimenting them today, but I was mistaken. I thought for a while that Manish Tewari is genuinely complimenting the government, but I was mistaken.
The entire difficulty was on the wording of Section 17B.
No, we'll go into detail, but you made it.
As it was originally worded.
Manish, hold on now, Manish.
The operator. When it was reworded, it talked about, it took that intent away.
Mr.
The US
Tewari,
had a problem with that.
Mr.
But
Tewari,
the French didn't have a problem with that. The Koreans didn't have a problem with that. The Japanese didn't have a problem with that. The Russians didn't have a problem with that. So therefore, what we need to know today is that what is it this government has done, which has undone an act which has been passed by the Indian Parliament?
Okay, I think you should now hear the BJP.
On August 2010, Jaswant Singh accused us on the floor of the House of trying to do by stealth.
Mr. Tewari, you are unstoppable tonight.
Stealth, a deal to please the United States of America.
Mr. Tewari,
you have a situation whereby if 17...
Mr. Tewari, your time runs out.
We exactly would like to know what is the compromise which has been arrived at.
Okay, so Mr. Tewari, and by the way, I've often said this, that if there's a shadow foreign minister, it is Mr. Manish Tewari. He's so utterly critical of any government when he's in the opposition and so supportive of any government when he happens to be in it. He makes a fantastic minister. Some people say he makes a better shadow minister. One second.
That's the responsibility of a constructive...
Now, Mr. Tewari.
When you're in the opposition, you need to point out anomalies.
Okay, so there is a gentleman in the studio tonight called Tewari-Kohli. He was making notes while you were replying. You were non-stop for 5 minutes. The question put is, what is the big deal that the Narendra Modi government has done? One. B, will the BJP explain why it has gone back on what it said earlier and therefore has it cheated the people on what it said before the elections? Now the floor is yours.
Well, I think, Mr. Goswami, the irony is absolutely unmissable.
Whose?
Yes, the irony.
Whose irony?
I'm just pointing out, the irony is unmissable that and to borrow a phrase from Mr. Tewari, that the only peg on which Dr. Manmohan Singh can hope to hang a legacy is on the shoulders of Mr. Narendra Modi. There is no legacy otherwise of a government that preceded us. Everything that they did never really translated into something. And today, when they are claiming credit on it, they have to hang that peg on what Mr. Narendra Modi as Prime Minister of India has achieved. Look at the irony. And let's forget about magnanimity. How can you expect magnanimity ever? Because the Congress party is more unifocused to a family, not the celebration of something.
The family as the Gandhi family has nothing to do with it.
It's not about nothing to do.
Don't distract.
Mr. Tewari, have the patience to hear me for a change. Just for a change. For variety, let me speak for a few minutes. Let me finish the point. Let me finish the point. I heard your monologue. I am going to speak, Mr. Goswami. Mr. Tewari, provided you have the patience to listen.
Do you believe
just display the same patience that I have. Perhaps you would have had statecraft too, if you had the patience to listen to what the nation was saying. So, I mean, that's the whole point. You can't speak and hope that the nation will, the voice of the nation won't be heard. So have some patience, Mr. Tiwari. Let me just finish my point.
Mr. Narendra, does the BJP believe in
Mr.
the indo-US civil nuclear
Mr.
agreement?
Tiwari, if you're
I'm asking you for the nth time.
Mr.
Why
Tiwari,
don't you reply yes or no?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you've been trying to answer that forever. And as a lawyer, you should know better than that. So am I. Anyway, let's get back to the top of it. Let me, Mr. Tiwari, make a point. Or Mr. Tiwari, if you want, I'll take this debate exactly where you are taking it. I can constantly do this and I can also speak in a monologue. If we won't get anywhere, the nation will move on. You'll be stuck where you are, Mr. Tiwari.
Mr. Tiwari, please, this is not Parliament.
Why don't you answer and move on?
Mr. Tiwari, this is not the Rajya Sabha.
Well, if you have patience to listen.
Mr. Tiwari, this is not the Rajya Sabha. This is not the Rajya Sabha. Let him reply. Thank you very much.
Well, I was never
Thank you very much. A counter was asked. He replied. He listened to you. It's fair you listen to him. However bitter you are tonight, Mr. Tiwari. However angry you are tonight.
Well, I am not
however upset you are tonight. But tonight is the night you ask the question and you must reply. You must reply. You must hear the reply. Now, Narendra reply. Mr. Manish Tiwari, you asked 3 questions. Now, please listen to the reply. Go ahead.
Let's go one by one.
Let's go one by one. Yeah.
The Congress party would like us to believe that we went ahead and stalled Parliament in passing a law. If we wanted to be stalling something, we would be exactly what the Congress party was doing. You don't allow a law to pass through. You put in a law in national interest. And that's exactly how it went through. So therefore, you can't be saying, why did we pass a law? If we didn't want that law, we would have opposed it. So that's the first point. Second is with regard to the nuclear deal. And what you're seeing, the big difference between what it was 6 years ago and what it's now is essentially both sides are finding ground to move further. It hasn't been one-sided.
No, but so you compromised. You compromised or didn't compromise?
You compromised or didn't compromise? We won't get to compromise in strong words like that, Mr. Goswami.
No, why wouldn't you?
Why didn't you? Till the text is out. Let's first see the text before we pass such comments. Let's go back to what it is. Was not the issue of tracking of fissile material an integral part to how the deal was being spoken about? Today, that's a massive thing because that meant getting into sovereignty of India. We had concerns about our nuclear reactors being, in a sense, being monitored over the requirements of the IAEA. Now, that was something that was not acceptable. Now, if that's not something to celebrate from Indian sovereignty, what is? Let's get back to the part of the liability. Has a liability been written off? A mechanism is being sought to be found whether liability can exist and business can also exist. It's not something unifocused that we've removed the liability. So I don't know what the Congress party is complaining about. The only thing they can complain about is they don't have a legacy. And the legacy they want to claim has been delivered by Mr. Narendra Modi.
And not just on this issue, Kumar Ketkar. Not just on this issue. Manish Tiwari, I'll let you come back. Not just on this issue, but on all issues. Kumar Ketkar, however strong a critic you are of the Narendra Modi government, you will admit today they have achieved a lot on the nuclear issue which Manmohan Singh couldn't. They have achieved a lot vis-a-vis Pakistan which the Manmohan Singh government couldn't.
Well, actually,
in fact, even on the snooping issue, when the issue of snooping came in, the Congress government went soft. Sushma Swaraj took it up with John Kerry. Not just that, Kumar Ketkar, the WTO standoff ended with India having the upper hand. So in terms of foreign policy, what do you think Modi has got so right? Kumar Ketkar, Naresh Gujral, feel free to come in. So should Rakesh Shrood, please. Yes, Kumar Ketkar.
Well, actually, Dr. Manmohan Singh should find completely happy tonight because he must be saying that it was his policy, it was his decision that has been completely endorsed by Narendra Modi. So he should be blessing Narendra Modi for this. And that clearly shows that whether he could pursue the matter between 2009 and 2014 is a different question altogether. In 2008, all of us forget, Narendra Kohli can't have a short memory. Everybody forgets that in 2008, the so-called vote for cash or cash for vote scandal emerged out of this particular deal. And these details of the deal which have been signed today by the majority government of the BJP was not the facility that Dr. Manmohan Singh had. And yet,
how is it relevant now?
Singh pursued the matter to the extent that finally the deal came through in 2008. And therefore, the other countries like France and Russia and all other countries agreed to have nuclear power investment in India. let us not forget that the success of the nuclear power deal was not directly only linked with US. It was linked with many other countries. And so whatever happened between 2010 and 2014 on the nuclear front was actually total and 100% vindication of Dr. Manmohan Singh's policies. And if Narendra Modi is claiming victory, tomorrow he will say he discovered America and not Columbus. He can do that. At present, the way media is supporting Narendra Modi, he can even say that he discovered America. That is not the question. The question is, Nalin Kohli can't have a short memory. Nalin Kohli cannot have a short memory. He knows.
Mr. Kedkar, you've said that twice, and let me come on the record. Mr. Kedkar, I do not have a short memory. Mr. Kedkar, I've heard you. May I just answer the question you're bringing up? Mr. Kedkar. Mr. Kedkar, may I just come in for a minute, please? I hope you're not being inspired by Mr. Tewari. I hope you're not being inspired by Mr. Tewari. Let me make a point. Let me make a point. You made 2-3 charges. Mr. Kedkar, may I just make a point? Mr. Kedkar, may I just make a point? I'm making a request to make a point in counter to what you're saying. Mr. Kedkar, would you like to hear or would you like to be... Mr. Kedkar, you are a senior journalist. I'm sure you don't want to denigrate yourself in terms of how you are putting it across almost like a political debate. Let me bring in my point. Mr. Kedkar, okay, I'll bring my point because you are not in a mood to listen, but I'd rather say it to the nation ahead who would like to listen to it. So let's go one by one. The BJP does not believe in denigrating anyone's credit. The BJP never has done that. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 15th August standing there on Red Fort addressing the nation said, I acknowledge all the good work done by preceding Prime Ministers. We haven't seen that magnanimity from anyone else. So therefore that's the first thing. Don't put that charge on us. Second is with regard to the point of the nuclear deal. Yes, I'm glad you brought in the cash for vote scandal, and I'm happy that you have been also with an equally endowed memory to not forget that was the most horrific thing about the sale of Indian democracy.
That's true.
Thank you, Mr. Kedkar, for bringing it on the record, and I'm glad that we share a good memory, both of us. The third point that you have said about Dr. Manmohan Singh celebrating, certainly he should celebrate and he should thank that there's a Prime Minister outside the Congress party elected through the people of India who has actually gone ahead and done something. The fourth is in terms of the legacy you're talking about. India has not compromised anyway its sovereign rights. We have not agreed to inspections over and above the International Atomic Energy. So therefore commission. So therefore there's a big difference between that. But if you would go ahead and listen and not behave with all due respect to you as a Congress apologist, perhaps you might be able to counter me on point by point instead of the rhetoric borrowed from the domains of the Congress party.
The question is of success and of victory.
Don't be so bitter, Mr. Kedkar. You've had your time of praising the Congress. Don't be so bitter. Celebrate something in the national interest. You don't have to be feeling bad just because the Congress party couldn't deliver it earlier.
1 second, Naresh Gujral, Manish Tewari, before you come in.
It is not a question of Congress or BJP.
Well, I'm sorry to say, Mr. Kedkar, your whole argument has been unifocused to that. It's about the Congress and the BJP. It has nothing to do with the celebration of what is happening in national interest. So I'm sorry to say I have to bring it on the record.
It has nothing to do with Congress.
No, I'm sorry, it has everything to do with the Congress, Mr. Kedkar. I'm sorry you'll have to accept that much. You may or may not, but I certainly feel the way you're putting it across, it appears to me that way.
Well, some people succeed and some people fail.
And today, that is biggest critic. Dr. Manmohan Singh's biggest critic, Narendra Modi, is now vindicating Dr. Manmohan Singh. Narendra Modi should be unhappy and Manmohan Singh should be happy.
Okay, so one more. Just four counters to that. Four counters to that perspective, but I'll present that before. After that, I'll go to Rakesh to then Mr. Gujral. Just because they're holding themselves back, let us not keep them out of the debate. 26 minutes past 9 and they haven't even spoken yet. And I don't think that's being fair. My simple point is, you say, sir, everything Modi is doing. No. Manish Tewari, Manish, a minute. Today, Kumar Kedkar says everything. Manish, a minute.
No, hang on. I want to ask a very simple question.
To whom?
My simple question to Mr. Nalin Kohli is that since he's been gloating over the Indo-US civil nuclear agreement, would he, on behalf of the BJP, like to apologize to the nation for bringing a vote of no confidence against the UPA government on the very same Indo-US civil nuclear agreement?
So may I answer it?
If they feel that the Indo-US civil nuclear agreement is a national interest, then why did they bring a vote of no confidence in 2008?
So may I answer that?
Okay.
And why did they hold up the passage of the civil nuclear
Manish, you answer.
So
Manish, you are an intelligent man.
And hunt with the
Manish, you are not just an intelligent man. You are extremely capable with your words. And one of the advantages of that is that you don't have to repeat yourself. The point is understood the first time you said it.
I'm not repeating myself.
Thank you.
I'm not getting an answer.
Thank you.
The reason I'm repeating myself is I'm not getting an answer.
How can you answer?
But Manish Tiwari, to get an answer, you and Kumar Ketkar must stop.
And you must listen.
Now, please stop for a while.
It's a request, Mr. Tiwari. I'll answer it.
You can't have somebody
Mr. Tiwari, may I answer it?
1 second.
Go right ahead and answer it, Mr. Kohli.
Sure, Mr. Kohli will reply now. And my apologies to Mr. Gujral and Mr. Sood, but I will have to get a reply. Please go ahead.
I'll make it short.
Make it brief.
Yeah,
then I go to the
absolutely.
others.
The first thing is the apology to the nation for a cash for vote scandal should, I think, precede anything else. That is exactly what, and Mr. Kumar Ketkar brought it up. Second point, yes, of course we bought it. We bought it, Mr. Tiwari. We bought it and you won it through basically means that are completely suspect. And they were very, very sad, a sad reflection on democracy. The second part is, today, Mr. Tiwari, I think Mr. Goswami pointed out you are eloquent, but if you would allow me to just speak, and then I'll be able to answer what you've asked. So the second point being, that in terms of the nuclear deal, this discussion is not unifocused to that only. The nuclear deal is just one aspect of a tango that's happening on an Indian melody. We should celebrate that. You can do anything you want. You can try to bring up anything you want. But at the end of the day, Mr. Tiwari, all your theatrics aside, the apology is not needed. You can keep saying, you can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, people out there are going to celebrate how the nation is moving on, and it's not stuck on an old record as your charges are.
Okay, Mr. Gujral,
you fought an election on that. You fought an election on that. You couldn't fight the subsequent election on that, Mr. Tiwari. The people of India have moved on. So has India. They are not stuck on an old record.
So yours was the old record.
So
I'm talking about the charges that they are making. Okay, ours wasn't the charge that he's making. And they have to really go back to dig up relics of the past without looking at it in the totality.
Naresh Gujral,
and they are ignoring the truth.
A fourth and fifth voice in the debate are Naresh Gujral and Rakesh Sood. First of all, to Mr. Sood and to Mr. Gujral. Is the past not relevant now? Is the past not relevant now in terms of, for example, actually let me put this to Mr. Sood first. Is the past going to be of relevance? You are new government, new mandate. So what if the BJP took a different position earlier? A bit of give and take always happens. This is not the first time a political party would have changed its position. Mr. Sood.
Let me just make 3 short points. First, I think we should all be happy that the deal has now gone through. And the credit for that certainly goes to Prime Minister Modi. Second point, I think a lot of it is due to the fact that he was able to establish a personal chemistry with President Obama in a very short while, which has been a catalyst in transforming the relationship. And the third point is that if we had not had the hard work that was done between 2005 and 2008, then I'm afraid we would be starting from scratch. So what Prime Minister Modi has done with his leadership is that he has removed the inertia that had crept into the relationship in recent years.
And that inertia was due to what, Mr. Gujral?
Yeah.
In your view, 1 second. That inertia was due to what?
Well, I don't understand why we are making this into Congress versus BJP or NDA versus UPA. The fact is, today is a win-win for India, a triumph of Indian democracy. And I think both Mr. Manmohan Singh and Mr. Modi need to be complimented, and they deserve the nation's gratitude. I will grant the fact that Dr. Manmohan Singh staked his chair to start this deal. Thereafter, he could not carry his allies with him, so the deal could not see the light of the day. Mr. Modi, after coming to power, took it upon himself to make this happen, and with his unlimited energy has made sure that today is a great day for India and a win-win for the country. So I think this debate is pointless. Both contributed and the country will benefit.
Mr. Gujral, you're trying to build a consensus where there is none. Yes, Maruf, I want to come back to you. You know, we can say this, but the fact is, has there ever been uniformity in foreign policy issues, agreement between principal players on issues? If the BJP has changed its position today and the Congress is criticizing it, the only story it tells me is that there is never a consensus on critical foreign policy issues. There wasn't one. Why did the BJP not support the nuclear bill in this exact form when it was in the opposition? That's the question Manish Tewari is asking.
But those terms have changed.
No, terms have not changed. The basic terms are exactly the same.
Not exactly the same.
Exactly the same. You know it's exactly the same.
No, how? Because you're talking about, for example, the tracking of fissile material. It's a big change.
Tracking of fissile
material liability hasn't been removed. Liability hasn't been removed. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Has there not been a dilution of the liability?
How do you call it? In terms of dilution, if you're putting a mechanism in terms of an insurance, that's not a dilution. You're only putting in a mechanism to take care of it and not falling on, say, completely.
Just so 1 second. Maruf wants to come back and then we'll come back to the political debate. Yes, Maruf.
Arnab, I just want to make 3 quick points. The first is, I think Professor Amartya Sen would be having a good laugh because we've actually proved we are very argumentative Indians, the title of his book. Most importantly, I think I agree entirely with Mr. Gujral and Mr. Sood, who've really said that the credit lies with both political parties. Please understand, if I could draw an analogy, it's like a game of hockey or football. Somebody makes the move, but somebody gets the credit for scoring the goal. He may not have made the entire set of moves, but he was there at the right time to push the ball in. And I think Mr. Modi gets the credit for doing that, seizing the moment, seizing the opportunity to move ahead. But there is another agreement that has happened today, which I think we should be very happy about as Indians. Looking a little beyond the nuclear arrangement, what has been pulled off by the Modi government, and I've never heard this in the entire foreign policy discourse that I've been watching for more than 2.5 decades, is the fact that this is the first time that India has entered into a hotline arrangement with the 2 heads of government between India and the United States. I don't think we have it with any other country, and the National Security Advisor. So we've raised the level of bilateral relationship with the United States.
Can you explain to our viewers? Maruf, can you explain to our viewers what a hotline arrangement really means?
And I think that's a significant achievement in foreign policy.
Maruf, just put it briefly to us.
I think it's a significant achievement.
Just explain it briefly. Maruf, just 1 second. Explain it briefly, very briefly. What is this hotline arrangement which is being spoken about? What really does it constitute?
Arnab, what happens in the case of hotline is this has existed between the United States and Soviet Union in the days of the Cold War, but that was in a negative context. It is to prevent a situation from escalating. But say hypothetically, we get another Mumbai type attack which comes in from Pakistan. The immediate reaction at some levels would be to hit back, to get even with Pakistan. It is at that point of time the President of the United States can get online directly with the Indian head of government and say, hold it, we will support you, but give it a little time. Let's get to the bottom of it.
I want to at this point cut to Okay, let's go back to the debate. Manish Tewari, you know, in that spirit of consensus which was just being built, and Maruf says and Mr. Rakesh Sood says that everything that has been built together. I don't want to be a spoiler, Mr. Tewari, but let's go back to the nuts and bolts of foreign policy. Whenever there are successes, there are lots of people sharing them. There's general feeling of bonhomie, good humor, etc., which will also be there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan banquet. But come down to specifics. Why did your foreign policy fail so hard? Because today what has been happening over the last 7 months, Manish Tewari, makes your losses, your defeats, your failures, it magnifies them all the more. Whether it is vis-a-vis Pakistan, whether it is vis-a-vis WTO, whether it is vis-a-vis overall vis-a-vis America, Maruf, not nuclear deal, overall vis-a-vis America, especially also the nuclear deal. And by the way, I slightly disagree with Mr. Rakesh Sood, a man of great experience, because the contact group in charge of negotiating this deal left the deal completely eventually in the domain of the 2 heads of state, after failing to resolve some sticking points. So if this deal was revived, it was revived by personally Obama and Modi. You see, and also, Mr. Tewari, the personal chemistry, a good point being made there. No personal chemistry with Manmohan Singh. Great personal chemistry with yes, what do you want to add there?
Actually.
Don't add it just to provoke Manish.
No, not at all.
Add it if you...
There was a comment by Mr. Obama, if I recall. Just a second, Manish, just a second. If I recall, Mr. Obama had spoken rather well for Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I think possibly had called him like a guru.
Yeah.
As in, an elder statesman.
Yeah.
So I think, let's not
And yet
take
it
that.
failed. Yet
No,
it failed.
I think what they couldn't take it further, but this visit also is far more just beyond a nuclear deal. Here you have President Obama referring to the International Yoga Day. Through the day, we've seen many other things. Why can't we celebrate that aspect? Even if there have been differences between the Congress and us, and there will continue to be, there are certain things that go beyond the Congress and BJP. It's going to be for the benefit or the lack of benefit
So
of India.
why did the Manmohan Singh government fail on such multiple fronts on foreign policy? Why did it do so, Mr. Tewari?
Well, let me answer that one by one, Mr. Goswami, since you asked. First of all,